Greetings everyone to our channel. I'm Ivan here from the Entitled Show, and I'd like to present our predictions for the upcoming Marvel film, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now I'll be talking about what happened during the first Ant-Man film and other MCU movies. So it goes without saying, spoilers ahead. Okay, the director Ant-Man and the Wasp, Peyton Reed, said that this movie takes place 2 years after the events of Captain America Civil War and before Avengers Infinity War. So it's confirmed everyone from the first Ant-Man film will be present and hasn't yet been afflicted by Thanos' finger snap yet. More on that later. We know that from the trailer that Scott is on house arrest, so we can assume that he never managed to escape in the wind with Cap, Falcon and Black Widow. Why was that? It's most likely because of his daughter Cassandra Lang, and the government may have made a deal with Scott to be under lock and key so that he can still see his daughter. And that sets up the emotional arc for our hero, Scott. What is Scott willing to do to be able to live a normal life with Cassie? Wait, isn't that just the same plot as the first Ant-Man film? Scott's origin story was pretty much how the first film played out, and his emotional journey seems to have been wrapped up. However, we don't think that the theme of wanting to be a better dad is going to be revisited again in the sequel. So, let's get down to the predictions. Prediction number 1. Ant-Man and the Wasp is more about Hope and her eventually becoming an Avenger. This is similar to how Infinity War was Thanos' film. We follow this journey to collect the Infinity Stones, and that might suggest that this film is better titled The Wasp and Ant-Man, but it doesn't have as good a ring to it. Prediction number 2. Will Hope go bad? The original Ant-Man and the Wasp were Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne. We learned that Janet was lost in the mission after going subatomic to stop a missile, and we can infer that she is trapped in the quantum realm, an alternate dimension where time and space are irrelevant. In the comics, Hope took a dark turn after the death of her parents and even set up a supervillain group called the Avengers to rival the new roster of Young Avengers. She even tortured Scott's daughter, Cassie Lang, because she feels she shouldn't be the Avengers' rightful heir. This outcome seems unlikely to play out in the MCU, but it would be interesting to see if Hope will mimic her dark comic book counterpart. But her possible reunion with her mother could develop into an optimistic leader to bring back hope. I know, terrible pun intended. Prediction number 3. The villain is not who they may seem. The trailer wants us to believe the main villain is Ghost, a tech specialist who has stolen Pym technology. His tech suit in the comics enabled him to become invisible and intangible, but not at the same time. Foreshadowing maybe. The MCU has changed Ghost to become female, and we think she's a great foil for the Wasp, but not for the other titular hero, Ant-Man. Marvel has recently been misleading us with its trailers. Infinity War and Thor Ragnarok are both examples where they keep their reveals close to their chest. And we think that the main villain is in fact, wait for it, Goliath. Lawrence Fishburne plays Bill Foster in this movie, and in the comics, Bill was first Black Goliath, then succeeded Hank Pym's other alter ego, Giant Man, for a time. And Reed described Foster and Pym's rivalry as the MCU's Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. The trailer shows a scene where Scott Lang and Bill Foster meet, and they seem to already have a rivalry going on when they were comparing how big they can get. This hero-villain dynamic makes more sense where you have Hank's successor facing off against his other successor. But wait, you can argue that it has already been done before when they introduced Yellow Jacket. But if there is another big bad we haven't seen yet from the trailers, then our bet is on Morpheus. Plus, just putting it out there, Ghost is Goliath's daughter. Prediction number 4. Ant-Man and the Wasp is the key to the plot of Infinity War 4. There is huge speculation that the reason the Ant-Man cast was left out of the Infinity War film was because Scott and Hank will meet up with the rest of the remaining Avengers to explain the quantum realm theory and the possibility of going to a different reality to steal the Infinity Stones before Thanos even gets a hold of them. What? This is probably why this movie was released after Infinity War, so that the audience discovers what the Ace in the Avengers plan is. Prediction number 5. The quantum realm is not the microverse. Ever since we were introduced to the concept of the quantum realm in Scott Lang, went subatomic at the end of the first movie, fans have believed the quantum realm is the MCU's version of the microverse from the comics. Ant-Man and the Wasp could travel to a different parallel universe in the same vein as DC's Flashpoint. Whoever the big villain is could want this technology because they want to change the outcome of the present, and if it is Bill Foster, he might want a reality where Hank Pym doesn't exist. Heck, maybe the Avengers don't exist and it's really up to Scott and Hope to correct alone. Prediction number 6. The Ant versus the Goliath. We know we are really pushing for the idea that Goliath is the big bad, but would it be epic for Ant-Man to face up against Goliath in a giant match? Prediction number 7. Cassie Lang, the future Avenger. Cassandra Lang, Scott's daughter, eventually takes up her father's mantle to become Stature, and is part of the Young Avengers. We most likely won't see her adult iteration in the film, but there might be a funny Easter egg scene where they allude to her becoming like her superhero dad. Prediction number 8. A surprise guest appearance. I'm not talking about Stan Lee yet, but judging from previous MCU films, surprise guest appearances have always been a big hit for fans. Remember when Red Skull showed his face in Infinity War? Or even when Falcon bridged the Avenger gap with his cameo in the first Ant-Man film? Could we see that trend repeat? Will it be Hawkeye? Will we see Cap or Falcon during their escape from the raft? What about Mitchell Clarkson, the Hydra agent? He never got caught. Prediction number 9. The funniest scene in the movie will come from Luis. There's a line in the trailer that Scott's sidekick, Luis, wishes he had powers. He might just get what he wishes for and become supersized, and we can imagine his reaction would be priceless. Prediction number 10. The post-credit scene will be epic. We're placing our bets that Scott will finally get to be with his daughter at the end of the film, but then gets the rug pulled from under him when the events of Infinity War results in the people that he loves disappear. Hope and Cassie and possibly Luis turn to ash, and we're gonna cry harder than we did for poor Peter Parker. That might happen during the post-credit scene, but if it doesn't, a possible scene might be a cameo of Ant-Man's recurring nemesis, Taskmaster, to set up Ant-Man 3. So, there you have it, our top 10 predictions for Ant-Man and the Wasp. What do you think? Will our predictions pan out? Leave your thoughts below. And we also didn't forget about Stan Lee's cameo. But if I were a guessing man, the most tragic death from Thanos' finger snap would be if we saw Stan Lee disappear in front of our eyes. Let's hope that one doesn't come true. And thanks for watching our video. Hit the thumbs up and comment your own predictions in the movie. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content like this one. Until next time.